No, batemu nnyo tosobola gamba nti mukola etteeka erijja okkaka abasomesa mu kifuba kifuba nga mutaddewo n'abasobola obbalunda ng'ente okukola emirimu gyabwe naye ng'obasasula bubi. Ekyokubiri, bw'ogamba omusomesa agenda akola internship amala omwaka mulamba ng'asomesa naye ng'ali mu kusoma nga tomusasula oba agenda kufuna ati oba abasawo balwanira bawa ssente zaabwe. Nze nange nakola internship mu mateeka ne bampa ssente gavumenti n'ogamba omusomesa nti alina okufuna internship myaka emeka omwaka mulamba. Mu busomesa tukola school practice eba ya myezi 3 naye ng'eyawuddwamu ebitundu 2. Ekyokubiri, ogamba abasomesa nti balina okufuna layisinsi buluvannyuma lwa myaka 4 tekibaddeewo. Omusomesa bw'afuluma ekyambogo bw'afuluma mu busomesa afuna ebbaluwa gy'ata teaching certificate ne education certificate n'atandika okusomesa. Obusomesa tebufaanagana bwa looya, tebufaanagana ba yinginiya, abantu ba saveya, byanjawulo. Kyova olaba University y'e Makerere abalekitala ba Makerere ba professor tebayinza kukkiriza kubeera wansi wa mbuleera n'emu egatta abasomesa ba primary because bemanyi nga abatali basomesa naye nga ate basomesa baki baana. Kati etteeka lino mu nkola entuufu lyandibadde baleeta Education Act parent law y'obusomesa gye twali tutereeza okusinga okuleeta bino ebyekisiru bye baleese. You remember? Yes, because I'm a full minister. So, no.
Honorable Sewungu, while you are aware, he is the full minister of education now by virtue of this letter. So please.
Yeah, so the Honorable Minister of State, sir, I was on the floor of Parliament. I raised a procedural matter of teachers having early retirement. And when I raised that matter, I said, can we know what the Minister of Education is doing to control this vice that is making so many teachers leave teaching at an early retirement, yet the training of teachers costs government money. And the reason, Mr. Chairman, I raised this was that most of the science teachers, as we talk now, science teachers, some science teachers are seeking for early retirement because the benefits they will get are better than being in a class. Why? I said, this teacher, you gave him 4.5 million. If he gets early retirement, he can get around 200 million. That's the information we have. Then, during his retirement, he will get 1.8 million up to death. Then the arts teacher, who is teaching in a secondary school in Kalungu, is earning 800,000 per month. So one earning 1.8 during retirement is far better off than the one of arts who is continuing to teach and being harassed. That very day, Honorable Minister, you tabled this bill. You said that whatever Honorable Sewungu is saying is contained in this bill. Kindly, in your wisdom, with all the team you have, can you cite us the sections in this bill that talk about the management of early retirement under this bill, as you stated? It is on record of Parliament. Then, Mr. Chairman, with your authority, I want to ask the gentleman, I don't remember his name because I came in late, to read for me on page 4. Can you read the bullet introduction at the bottom? Bullet 1, colleagues, in order, read the bullet 3 for us again. Honourable members, get that page. On page 4, bullet 3. Page 4, it is page 4. Okay, no, page 2, honourable members. It is page 2, but here they have 4. Slide 4, I think, slide 4. Can you read us the last portion again? Please, Mr. Chair, if it pleases, because it's you to tell him. I don't know his name.
You're telling him to read? Why don't you first tell him?
No, I let him read, Mr. Chairman. Through you, Chair. Can he read? Is Dan who read us? I want to ask him my questions through you. What does he lose? We are all speaking English here. What's the fear?
Okay, Honorable Minister, let Mr.
Has he failed?
To simplify the work of Honorable Sewungu. Yet, Honorable Sewungu, you are an English teacher. You would have read very fast.
I wanted to have it on record, Mr. Chairman, because we always have this on record. Let the gentleman read the slide.
It is already done. Why many
No,
words?
Chair.
I'm saying let him read. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
thank you. So let him read. Then I will give.
Slide 4?
You are talking about slide 4.
This
page
is
4.
slide 4, the last bullet. There are 2 bullets, colleague, in order, but the one, therefore, just that one. Read for us that one.
The slide reads, therefore, the National Teachers Bill 2024 is the guarantee for translating into action the intent of the National Teachers Policy of 2019. The bill will facilitate regulation of the teaching profession by allowing certain courses of action, coercion through requiring or prohibiting certain behaviors of teachers and creating institutions to regulate teachers and their effective governance.
So, Mr. Chairman, take it very seriously. Honorable members, the bill will facilitate regulation of the teaching profession by following certain actions of action, coercion. The definition of coercion is this: persuading someone to do something by use of force or threats. So you are creating a bill to be passed by this committee where you are going to use teachers by coercion, persuading, threats, and you add on through requiring or prohibiting certain behaviors of the teachers and creating institutions to regulate teachers. So you are going to create Chiboko Squad. You are going to create anti-corruption, what? Anything, caning teachers. So you want this parliament to pass a bill where you are going to use coercion. Whenever you are drafting a law, there is a vice you are trying to control. But the bill does not give you powers to use threats and force on an individual as an institution. Because even the court doesn't do that. So, Mr. Chairman, that is very key on this bill. And here we are, the bill is coming from the minister who is preparing to prepare Kiboko, RDCs, DPCs, everybody to go and cane teachers, to threaten them. And you think you get products from teachers who are teaching under duress. Oh my God. Mr. Chairman, if we go to the word unethical, insufficient standardized teachers to universities, the challenge is not on teachers. It is on you as government. If teachers enter classes which are not painted, which have not been repaired, which are leaking, which are blown off by rain, the roofs, the problem is not on them. It is on you. If a teacher in Uganda is wearing shoes without soles, is wearing a shirt torn on the collar, it is on government because the remuneration and payments, salaries are not favorable. There are options to look for the last quality of clothes in Owino. So you are telling them to be unethical. Go and read the Sekama's book. Then, Mr. Chairman, on page 3, again slide 6, licensing and institution of teachers. Now, this question, and the honourable members raised it. The Uganda Law Society, the LODC, Law Development Center, was also, actually, pre-entry was at Makerere for bachelor's law. Then LODC was subjecting students who have passed their law courses to go for pre-entry. Then it was stopped. You are telling somebody who has come out of the university with a bachelor's of education, as you are alleging, but you are forcing him to do another pre-entry to be appointed a teacher. What did he do in the 4 years when he was teaching, 3 years when he was training? Sincerely tell us. You go for your private schools, do those course internal checks and what have you for your teachers as you recruit them, but the policy, the law you are bringing cannot in any way deal with that. Mr. Chairman, if we go to the Education Act, which would have been the best law to handle and be amended clearly, it gives you a lot of powers, Honourable Minister. Look at the minister shall, that is the section 3, section roles and powers of the minister, section 3, subsection 1A. The minister shall from time to time initiate policies and reforms of education as the need arises. Here we are. As we talk now, you have never given us the UPE policy since the UPE started. We have asked you for the feeding policy. You have refused. You only come to Parliament and you go to media center. You say, those who want to feed, those who want to bring food, they will do that, but not charging money. No policy is given. So why don't you use your powers here to give your policies? Mr. Chairman, there is something on page 4. The poor, this has resulted into poor education outcomes manifested in increased teacher dropouts. The poor result outcome is you. I was on the floor of Parliament. These members were together. You had not sent capitation grant. You never sent 2,000 shillings. Look at me. You never sent 2,000 shillings you pay per child per term. And we asked you as Parliament that send a capitation grant 2 weeks before the term begins. Your schools, all my schools, they always, teachers report 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before the term begins, to prepare. As we talk now, we want to drive you, Honorable Miengo.
So, Honorable Sewungu, which question is that?
Yeah, I'm telling them, it is their presentation, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
The poor education outcomes.
Okay.
We want to do it as a litmus test ourselves. We take the minister and the new permanent secretary, who is in trouble, by the way. You have taken up serious issues. You will suffer.
Don't threaten.
But I'm praying for you.
Our new PS.
I will pray for you. So, Honorable Minister,
Don't intimidate our new PS.
members, we get a coaster. We just get a coaster. We go to Salama Road. There's a school called St. Ponsiano Chamla. We go to Chiswa Primary School. We see how many black books, how many prep books, and ready pens given to teachers. That is very simple. Even as we talk now, if you ask these members to make calls in all their schools, teachers don't have ready pens, have no blue and black pens. But these MPs have tried to provide some, and the boxes of chalk are not there.
Ah, okay.
Then, Mr. Chairman, you gave me, let me finish my issues.
Yes, 1 minute to conclude and...
Now, you see, Mr. Chairman, eligibility of appointing of a council, that's a board now. But you are rationalizing. You came here, you said we should rationalize the higher loan financing board. We refused. When Miengo went and passed somewhere behind and used somebody to beat us on the floor when we had refused rationalizing the higher loan financing board. And you won us, we took it in good faith. Now, here you are creating a new board with all, but you have been rationalizing. So you have to help us. The last area, Mr. Chairman, I want to conclude with. The issue of teachers members have talked about it. It is on, the issue is regulations. There is no way you can bring a law without regulations. The council is here. But you are saying the minister may, in consultation, why courts of law are failing to manage and make good judgment using these acts you are giving is because they don't have regulations. They have to use regulations plus the act to determine the punishments of these people. But here you are very redundant, saying you may. You may. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, as I'm against this bill, the teacher internship program. Honorable Miengo, why are you running to Ministry of, I think, Health?
But Honorable Sewungu, that matter has been handled by the people from...
But mine is different from theirs. Sure. Mine is very different.
Let me hear.
You have put internship, even in the schedule, it has the biggest registration. Where are you going to put a teacher to carry out internship for 1 year with no payment? Even me, when I was doing internship for my law school at Makerere, government gave me 300,000 for internship. Now, can you show us in your registration here where you have catered for that teacher who is going to spend a full year doing internship but is not paid anything? And how would you give yourself powers that it is the permanent secretary or the minister to place all teachers in Uganda in schools to carry out internship. Because at Makerere, as I do my teaching education course, it is the university which gives me a letter to look for school. I go and look for the school. I get my school. I start teaching. But here again, you are not showing us anything dealing with external examiner. You are saying the teachers you find on campus, where you are going to do your internship, where you have placed me, they are the ones to supervise me. What if the headmaster is my relative, my cousin, my muko, my wife, and I'm doing internship there? Will I fail? Will I fail Onamingo? So, Mr. Honorable members, for me, I want to say this in good faith. This bill is redundant, archaic, and uncalled for. Get the Education Act, sit down, and do something, do some panel beating on this. We come and make corrections to the bill. We put in those areas we have been raising, because this is the parent law. This is the parent law. But this bill you are bringing, what kind of sticks will you be carrying in your car? Canes to beat teachers.
So we have made your point.
I've made my point.
Can we hear the minister respond? Honorable Itungo, you said you had something, but you are the one who...
They bring in another law here to be repealed within this law. That is the repeal of Part 5 and the fourth schedule of Act number 13 of 2008. This is the act, I think, not so?
Yeah.
There is something we must pay close attention to as members with our legal team. I think...
no, that matter was raised, but in different words. Some member behind there observed it. Yes, Honorable Ngeri, you can conclude.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Minister, like it or not, you closed the PTCs. And the transition system you gave is not there. Meaning, you want all teachers to be bachelors, as you have stated. But you cannot go away with those who are having grade 3 and diploma, because they are serving and government is paying them. But in your law here, you are not expressing the current serving teachers in their status. There are 3 categories. There are those who have just begun working, there are those who are retiring, and those who are remaining with a few years to retire. All those should be catered for. But here you are not showing us how you are beginning bachelors, how you are giving nursery teachers bachelors, how they will survive with what kind of payment they will be earning, and you have left them out. So could we say that this act, as soon as we pass it, in Uganda we shall not have any teacher teaching unless he has a bachelor's degree? But the biggest number in primary schools, they are grade 3 teachers, and you know that. The biggest number in secondary schools are diploma holders.
So, Honorable Sewungu, what do you think would be a minimum proposal?
No, you see, already this was missed education. I can't give a minimum proposal when you have not given... I can say this emphatically, that I mean, a P3 dropout, who was a president for 8 years, he got the people who were vernacular teachers by that time, they sieved them, and he tried to elevate them to a certain level. You go and ask Haji Naduli. He was a vernacular teacher. They had some training. Then they made them grade 2 teachers to fit within the line of government. And indeed, they went on and studied. But here you are not, because a grade 3 teacher can still teach a primary school. He can still teach, but pay him very well. And they have avenues of going for higher courses. I was a grade 3. I got a diploma from Kakoba National Teachers Union, in the Teachers College. I got a bachelor's from Makerere. I'm an advocate now.
You see?
You see? And I'm soon going to be lecturing. So, yeah. But here in your law, where do you have that?
Honorable Itungo, the last one, and the minister responds.
Who is appearing for the first time before the committee. I just wanted to help you and you do some homework. You read this act we are quoting. The information we are giving you is on page 9. Page 9 talks about the roles and powers of the minister. You read page 10. Page 10 talks about policy on provision of education and training. You read page 11. Page 11 talks about the responsibilities of stakeholders, the role of government and the role of parents and the role of foundational bodies and the rest. And when you really are part of the roles of the government, is registering and licensing of teachers, which you are putting in the bill. It is already provided here. So you read up to, I think, page 12. then you'll see, that's why we are picking our arguments, that instead of coming up with another bill, we can instead help you, or we can help each other, and we amend this act so that we handle everything comprehensively, rather than having a bill on feeding, a bill on teachers, a bill on learners, a bill on stakeholders. We just have one law and we finish all the issues to do with education, because they are many and they are comprehensive. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. Members, thank you very much. And let's have...
So the departments in Ministry are working together as a family. And I just wonder whether National Council and Curriculum Development Center was not did not participate.
Were you consulted, National Curriculum? Because we...
Sorry, through the minutes, give a comment, a critique on the bill.
Okay.
He wrote to us, Chair, and asked us to give a comment. But Chair, given the direction of the discussions here, I don't think it is now necessary for us to present our critique, because I think the discussions have given in a certain direction.
Okay, so it is our consumption. Please, Honourable Minister, go ahead.
Discussion that is taking place. I'm getting an impression, Chair, that this important bill has not been fully understood. And I want to ask my colleagues here, I want to ask you, Chair, that you enable us have enough time to explain, particularly the why this law.
So that's why we have given you 30 minutes.
Thank you. I would ask that my officers, beginning with the PS, who is the head of the technical team, but before I hand over to the technical team to give us the explanation, Chair, I want to remind you, and dear colleagues, that the teacher is a very important person. The quality of the teacher determines the quality of the education of the country. And the quality of the teacher determines the quality of the country. That's why you see Honorable Sewungu was grade 3 those days, and he wanted to be better. He's now, I think he has now completed a bachelor's, he has completed a master's, he's trying his best to be a better person. I want us to have that at the back of our mind. There was a time when we had language, they call them vernacular teachers. They were, during that time, they're doing a fantastic job. And we really appreciate, there are examples, as Honorable Sewungu was saying, called the vernacular teachers. Yes, that was the time, vernacular teachers. There was a time when we improved ourselves as a country and it took on grade 2, grade 3, where Honorable Sewungu comes from. That is, and we have now a duty, we who are here, we have a duty to plan for this country. We have a duty to make our country the best. And we cannot do it without doing something about the quality of the teacher. Right, Honorable Chair, I wanted you to have that at the back of your mind as we discuss this. I don't have any problem. If there was enough money in the country, the teachers should be given the best, because they do a lot of very useful work. Chair, with that small remark, I want to ask the leader of the technical team to call on our technical people to react and answer some of the questions.
I coerced him to read, and the chairman was defending. Out your bill.
Honorable Sewungu, sir.
What was the chairman
My
defending?
minister.
Now, Honorable Sewungu catalyzed that Mr. Baruka had read. So I wasn't defending. For me, I don't defend anything. I'm just here as a master of ceremonies. This one speaks and, okay. Yes?
Remind Honorable Sewungu that this thing, whole policy bill, came out of a study, a seriously conducted study. We conducted a study. But it's not referring
Those who did that study should
to that study.
Just chase
And I
them
think
like
this
it's
is why
Saka.
he's be coming up with examples
Kindly
of what I mean.
drop
Order.
them
I
like
have-
it's Saka.
Honorable Sewungu, you just...
But he's telling Mr. Chairman. So if you did that study and you come out with this bill, which is going to coerce teachers, plus the members' issues they have raised, just send them away like it's Don't waste time. I'm telling you.
Honourable Minister, proceed.
Please, PS.
So I would implore the member.
Thank the committee for very insightful thoughts that they have shared with us on the floor this morning, afternoon. And I would want to request now Mr. Barugahare to respond to some, especially giving the rationale for some of the whys that were asked by the honorable members. So, Chair, I'm passing on the microphone.
Madam PS for giving way. I want to start by clarifying and the clauses to do with the savings and the transition. And I'm referring to the bill, the draft bill, clause 64, which saves, and it says, subsection 1, at the commencement of this act, any teacher who is registered under the Education, Primary and Post-Primary Act 2008 shall be deemed to have been registered under this act. So it is not true that we have not taken cognizance of the teachers we have. When you go to clause, it is 64, page 33, and it addresses the issues Honorable Sewungu was raising, that we didn't take care of the teachers. Where do we put them? This law is protecting the teachers and is acknowledging that they are in the system. And the transition is, when you go to 65(1), it says, notwithstanding section 64(1), a teacher who at the commencement of this act is registered under the Education, Primary and Post-Primary Act 2008, but whose qualifications are not in compliance with the eligibility requirements under section 28, shall within 10 years from the commencement of this act comply with the requirements for eligibility under section 28. So this bill is providing for a transition, and it is giving a period of 10 years for people to comply with the law. Chair, can I be protected?
No, you did not. You had enough time to give us the rationale for every clause. Honourable members, go to what it's saying. If you have the bill with you, the license to teach, granted under the Education Pre-Primary Act 2000, shall continue teaching until the license expires.
I said 1. I read 1, not 2.
But I'm reading 2. It is in your act. Please, I'm taking what you gave here. So what do you mean by expiration of a license of a teacher? Yet you are going to be licensing them every year. You get me? I qualified as a grade 3. I have my certificate and teaching certificate from Chambo. My certificate and this certificate have no expiry date until retirement or leaving the profession. But if you put in the clause until the license expires, you are going to throw out teachers. You gentlemen, please, be very careful with the legislation. You might think we are senior 6 holders here.
Honorable Sewungu.
So, Honorable Sewungu is intimidating us, Chair.
Yes.
Why is he in order, Chair?
Honorable Sewungu is...
Maybe make an addition to my teacher mate, Honorable Sewungu. Even today, we have 2 categories of people who are allowed to teach in our schools. We have those who have done courses in approved institutions and qualified and registered, because those ones come with their qualifications and they register as teachers. However, there is a provision that there may be need for teachers but who don't have qualification, but who have the academic capacity to teach. So there's that provision of licensing. And in this bill, both of them were talked about. So here in under 64, section 1 refers to the teachers like me who went through teacher training, got qualifications, and therefore registered. Then section number 2 is referring to a possibility of someone who doesn't have that professional qualification but requests for license and is approved. So that is what I wanted to...
Mr. Chair, I don't want to talk long, but you see, we don't read the law the way we are saying it. This is a law. If 2 64.2, where a license referred to in subsection 2 expires or is cancelled or revoked, any other license to be subsequently issued shall be in accordance with the provisions of this act. And in this act you are saying you want only degree holders. Isn't it so now, members? In the very act you are saying, so you are going to revoke, you are going to cancel the licenses, and this someone without a grade 3, I need 2, you say, no, but you see, you are a grade 3 teacher, you are a diploma holder. And for us, our act says we want degree holders, whom we have not trained. So when we are handling this, and Mr. Chairman, these members should know that now I'm talking like a magistrate. So I'm using the strength of my knowledge by what you have put under the law. If this person goes to court, when you have revoked his license, which you are licensing him, he's a diploma holder, say we are not taking anymore, he has no remedy. Because the act is saying you want only degree holders. It is in your law. The best approach to this matter, seek for leave from the chair, you go back and revisit your act. You bring it with some sanity. Otherwise, whatever you are saying, if you sat so many of yourselves, your people never helped you. They performed the panchurium.
Chair, I want
maybe Honorable Sewungu, we have other stakeholders we are inviting, including the teachers, including the public hearings, which are going to have input from the other members of the public, Honorable Minister. So whatever is here, I think, is not final. We are just dealing with the draft so that we can come up with the final bill. Honorable Minister.
That clause of 64, we are transitioning the teachers licensed under Section 19.
Just a minute.
Section 19 of the Education Act.
Just a minute. Honorable colleagues, there is a draft. You are there? So continue.
From the Education Act, Section 19 and 20, where the director in the current law is empowered to license people to teach. So the first category we are saving are the people who are teaching and are qualified and registered. The second category is if there are any teachers who are licensed under this act, we are the ones saying they have their license valid until it expires. Because the current law provides for licensing of teachers. So those are the two categories we are transitioning and saving in the bill. Honorable Chair.
Clarification, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, I want to talk about...
Let's get a clarification from...
The clarification.
Just get a clarification from the former chair.
Thank you, Honorable... No, I'm not a former chair, I'm a member of the committee, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, through the Minister, I just want a clarification here. Sorry to take you back, Honorable Minister, and the PS. On the same page, page 33, when you look section, clause 64.
It is. All has qualities that it does not have. Are you getting me? You have qualities that you are deemed to be. You don't have the real qualities because for you want a degree holder. So this man is teaching with his grade 3 diploma at the mercy of your ministry. Anytime you throw out, but he has been serving, deemed. Look it up on I'm saying it to you on WhatsApp.
Honorable Sewungu, you are becoming too legal. Legal.
We are not paralegal on this one. We are handling legal issues. And I'm an advantage to the committee.
And we have a technical person there. Legal, what do you want to say on the Honorable Sewungu's order? It's okay. Now, Chair, let me hand over Chair. But he's on page 33. He's talking about savings and...
Go ahead. Literal meaning of the word.
You have not conspired directly with the legal team. Yes.
And purposive word. Purposive. The meaning of the word. So you put it here, and I've explained the word deem. You are not, the real draft will be stating that those who have been serving as per the act will remain as. But if you say they will be deemed, they are nowhere. And I've given you the definition of the word. We use the three legal terms.
The English is not our language. But otherwise, that word we have always used it in the legislation. Yeah. Yes.
On that same page, Chair.
Go ahead. Literal meaning of the word
You have not conspired
And
rightly
what?
with the legal team. Yes.
and purposive word, purposive, the meaning of the word. So you put it here, and I've explained the word deem. You are not, the real draft will be stating that those who have been serving as per the act will remain as. But if you say they will be deemed, they are nowhere. And I've given you the definition of the word. We use the three
but
legal terms.
The English is not our language. But otherwise, that word we have always used it in the legislation. Yeah. Yes.
On that same page, Chair,